Hello, please welcome Prashant Priyadarshi to QueerTWENTY, the cohort of 2021. Prashant is the founder of Destello, a sustainable clothing brand. She also has a drag alias called Bahar. Thank you so much for joining us, Prashant.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So Prashant, you founded Destello, an e-commerce platform towards ethical vegan clothing. What were the initial challenges of setting up such a venture and how did you overcome them?
Initial challenges, as any other small business, would be just me by myself trying to start something that I really wanted to from a long time. I have been working, before I started Destello, I have been working as a stylist for a really long time, and I was a producer for a while, and after working with around over 100 odd brands, I learned how manufacturing is done and how e-commerce platforms work and how brands function, how the parts of the business that as an entrepreneur I should know. I learned all of these from these the brands that I was producing for, and then in 2019 I decided that I want to start my own brand. But the challenges, as usual, were that I did not have a huge fund to just have people come and make that whole team and just start the business. So I had to do everything by myself. I had no technical knowledge as such, so I started on Instagram with a very small production, and then initially I was taking just favors from my friend who came and posed as a model, and then whoever influencer friends I took their help. So I had a very good support system. In terms of friends and acquaintances who helped me push the brand on the internet. And then after a few months down the line, maybe 2019, we started around September, October, and to 2020 the pandemic hit. So there were so many challenges. Like, we just started and I don't have an experience in running an e-commerce business, and there is a pandemic that I have to fight with. And just to sustain during that time, forget about just the business aspect of it, but also the emotional aspect of it, the mental aspect of it. There's a lot that I had put in that business, and just to know that the pandemic comes and my sales go down, it was a lot to take. But thankfully, thanks to God, that we sailed through it. We got out of the losses and the business picked up, and now we have a fully functional website, and I have a small team who helps me with all aspects of the business, and it's growing slowly but surely.
No, that's great to hear. And the fact that more and more people are warming up to your brand, are choosing to be ethical consumers is great to hear. But then, are you personally happy with the rate of adoption in mainstream consumer behavior towards the kind of clothes and the merchandise that people buy?
I'm just happy the fact that the consumerism itself is changing right now. People are aware of what they are wearing. So in the new culture, the millennials and the Gen Z, who are the main consumers right now of my company, my clothing, they're aware of what they are wearing, and they want to contribute to small brands. And the world isn't all about expensive brands anymore. It's more about what comes with the brand, the emotion that comes with the brand, the story that comes with the brand. That has become a statement now, more than just the label and the price that it carries.
Absolutely, Prashant. Prashant, you did mention that you were a stylist before you decided to be a designer. What were some of the reasons that helped you or motivated you to switch career lanes?
Just the fact that I thought it's enough, and I always believe that whatever career path that we choose has to lead somewhere else. So everything is a stepping stone to something else, and I did not want to be a stylist of my life, to be honest. I loved the job, but then I wanted to bigger things, better things, have my own establishment. I did not want to be in that restricted area of, okay, this is what I need to do and this is what I don't need to do. I wanted a free will to materialize the ideas that I have in my head and the way I think things should work. So that's why I wanted to do this transition from that to this, which honestly is, it's like, it's very rocky, but at the end of the day, there is a satisfaction of owning it. There's a satisfaction of being able to make decisions on my own, and just learning through this entire process of becoming a better person and learning how to manage a business comes with how to manage people, and you're only as good as the people you work with. So selecting people, getting a vision out there, and having that vision turn into a reality, it's just a great process. So that's what I enjoy more than owning it. This is what I enjoy: coming to office every day, meeting new people, selling, having customer feedback, brainstorming with people, getting to do my own type of content creation. By the way, we are very big on content creation. It's like a content-led sales for us. Yeah. So that's the process that I enjoy more.
So if I ask you, where do you see Destello maybe in the next 5 years?
I definitely see it as a brand that will have a very heavy and trendy name to it, and people will associate with it, because I will make sure that Destello reaches a milestone where it is probably at par or better than H&M. So that's what my vision is. Yeah. It's important to understand that first you have to support your own country and own city businesses, because that's where you live, and we have to support each other in whatever space we are, because that's how we grow together, right? And how else do you support it? It's just maybe the awareness. Talk about it. Tell people what the brand is all about. Share it with people. My customers, I'm very happy that if you go to Destello Instagram page, you'll see I have hundreds of customers tagged, like more than my own photo shoot pictures and videos. I have these customers sending me photos and videos of them that I reshare, like we should reshare over here. So I like the fact that they enjoy what we make, and I think it's the brand story that forces them to share it, because they know that we're in a space where we feed the animals and we have this ethical sense of fashion. So it's great and we need, as a small business, we need that push, vocal for local. So if we don't support our own country business, then who will?
Considering you went through all of that, if I ask you right now, what are 3 things that you think that startups or corporates usually get wrong when they attempt to instill inclusion at all levels, from ground to executive levels?
See, I'm not in a position to say all that. I can only talk about the challenges I have faced, but unless I have 5 years of experience in just running my own company, I don't want to say things. It's just been like not even 2 years properly. So I don't know if I have the right knowledge about advising somebody, but I would. I don't know what to say. What can they get wrong in the first?
Okay. Is there anything that you personally would not want to get wrong?
Yes. So one thing is, one thing I face, what happened when we start a business, I think we have to realize that we have to put our egos aside and we should be open to listening to more people. What happened to me in the beginning was I was very stuck up. Because the brand was started by me, I wanted everything my way. I wanted everyone to listen to me, and I wanted people to just do everything I say. But later I realized that it's very important when you have a team, you have to let them function, because each person comes with their own set of skills and talent. And it's, when young people come together, we have to work together, and that is such a beautiful thing, which I understood later, after a couple of months after working and during the pandemic, when I was still struggling to make sales. I understood that I have to let people work how they want, and then of course that there will be results that will show. So we can always decide if the results are good, then it's a good idea to let them work, and if it's not, then we have to make changes. We always have to work as a team. When I work with people, it's never about me, I anymore. It's always about we, which I actually preach as well. I don't like to say I anymore. It's always we. We have to work together, and I don't call anybody my employees too. I call them my teammates.
All right, Prashant. So Moving aside from the growing pains that you went through when you started and set up your own business, coming to your personal life, what has been your story of acceptance like? What has been your support system? How did you decide to come out to your friends, family, and to society in general?
Initial years were very difficult. I was very closeted 10 years ago. It was only after like you tell one friend and you see the acceptance, and then you get the confidence of telling it to the next and the next and the next, and then it continues to grow. But it was only because of my friends who I told and the acceptance I saw they had for me is when I gathered the courage to tell other people, and including my mother. My father I haven't really spoken to about it, but I think he knows. But I don't have the relationship with my father to do all that. But my mother took it very well, and she's completely supportive. So is my sister, my brother-in-law, and everybody else, all my cousins. My roommate is straight, and not my roommate, my flatmate is straight, and we've been living together for 8 years, and I have a very strong straight friend circle, male, female, you know. So I think I'm just blessed to be surrounded by the right kind of people. I'm very selective with who I spend my time with and the energies that I get. So I'm glad that I have the maturity to, you know, sense the energy from people. So that's why I protect myself, and I don't let wrong people enter my life.
Having the right kind of community and parental support is such
Yes.
a privilege.
It's a privilege, and I'm very glad that I have it. I mean, coming to the challenges, day-to-day challenges, I think I've grown a very thick skin, so like nobody can really insult me anymore or make me feel bad about myself. It's just I've grown that thick skin and the walls around me that I could just, you know, I don't remember when was the last time I actually went out to a club or to dinners like this. I always go with my wig and my dress on, you know, and there's always people staring in good ways, bad ways, but I'm so used to it that it just doesn't affect me anymore. And if I'm not dressed in my wig and my dress, I don't even feel like myself.
This actually brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Tell our viewers about Bahar and tell us how integral is she to your identity?
Bahar is the true me. If I don't like to say this, but I have to say this because that's the other reality. If I was biologically a woman, Bahar would be that. So Bahar is an extension of me. I identify as Bahar, which is a very emotional space for me because I identify as a woman, and people usually don't look at me like that because of, you know, I look like this usually. Even at my, I've grown comfortable to this idea of people calling me a he or mentioning me as a boy. Especially with my college friends, I'm very comfortable because they saw the whole transition, so I'm okay with it. So the same thing goes with my cousins. I'm very okay with it. Coming to, yes, I identify as Bahar. She's the extension of me, and she's everything that I ever wanted to be. You know, I wanted Bahar. She's a strong woman. She speaks her truth. She speaks her mind. She does not let anyone take advantage of her. She walks into her room and all eyes on her. She gets the, you know, she nobody says no to her. She's very convincing, and she can bargain very well. Okay, so it's the aura that Bahar has that was in my head, has come out in a personality over the years I developed. Yeah.
So, is that how you identify or relate to the concept of womanhood?
I would identify Bahar as what, I don't know. Womanhood, I think inside of me, I'm a complete woman. I actually feel like a woman through and through. And I don't think there's any difference in me and my female friends. We think alike, we act alike. It's just how we look is still different. And I just think I tell everybody, being a woman is so much stronger than being a man, to be honest. You know, we handle emotions better. I just think being a woman is not a gender, it's an emotion, you know. It's just I don't know how to explain. I don't want to offend any male viewers who might be watching this, but I feel, all the women in my life, including me, we have such strong emotional levels, which comes with being a woman. And I just think our counterparts don't have that maturity. So I don't know what to say. Yeah.
No, I think you got some very important points across.
Yeah.
So, since you're somebody who is very confident, right, about your identity, somebody who is, that Bahar is an extension of you. Since I've talked to Sushant and Alex, and now what I'm getting from you, drag has always been a part of Indian culture. If you talk about our history, our mythology, but then it still remains restricted to urban cities or metropolitans. How can we make it more and more accessible to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and then eventually to rural areas as well?
It will only happen through social media, because that's the only way to spread awareness. And the fact that drag has reached India is only through social media. If social media did not exist, you'd think we'd be as accepted as we are right now? I don't think so. Thanks to few people who took the initiatives, that went out there and started doing stuff and making people more aware of what needs to be done, is why we're able to be who we are. So I think it will take a couple of more years for even other smaller cities to start accepting drag.
As an ending question, Prashant, what are maybe 3 things that you really enjoy and that you would like to recommend to our viewers so that they can do it too?
Oh yeah, first is, I would say, just cut out all the toxic people from your life. You have to analyze who's an energy sucker, because I just think if your friends don't feel good about yourself, or if your friends don't walk into your room and then make you smile, or don't make you feel depressed, or say bad things to you, so what's even the point of having them? You just call them friends because you're needy. Sometimes you're better off alone than having an energy sucker. We call it the energy vampires. It could be your closest friends, but it's difficult to let go of somebody for so many years, but you have to understand how you feel inside. And I have done this in my life. I've had many friends, okay, but then slowly I had to let them go, because I realized that even though 2 people are very good by their nature, but together they're not good. So you have to let go of them, because you're nice, they're nice, but together you're not nice. So you have to understand that. So that I like to do that for myself, and I like to I am a firm believer in affirmations and meditation. I really take care of what I eat, and every morning I wake up and I give myself at least an hour and a half to think about myself, think about the day. It's very important to not spend all your time on social media. Take days off. Like, I have a very busy schedule, but I still manage to take at least like a day off in a week, and just not do anything. It's like when you're creative, you need one day of just being not creative, because you need to like recharge yourself in order to start functioning for the next day. Creativity is like a full process, I'll tell you that. Yes. So if anybody comes and just pressures me into doing something more than what I want to do, I just get really agitated. Yeah, so these things I like doing.
Thank you so much for that, Prashant, and thank you for being a part of our show, for sharing all of these things with us. And it was a wonderful delight to talk to you, Prashant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you for having me.